On the internet, AI has become the latest form of artificial intelligence, perhaps even the most surprising in the field. In the creative field, which includes, for example, writers, musicians, and visual artists, it was long thought that artificial intelligence could never replace art, the only quality that stems from a unique individual subconscious. However, AI is already capable of creating unbelievable works of art with just a few keywords. It can track the style of a certain artist if asked, to make it like a painting, a drawing, or a hyper-realistic one, and mix in your own ass or any other picture or word that is fed to it. But who would have believed that artificial intelligence can also be made into horror in the future? The case got its start. Supercomposite had started playing around with an artificial intelligence software that creates images using text input. One of the most well-known of this type of software is OpenAI's developed DALL-E, but Supercomposite had apparently used some other alternatives. The software can give a simple or complex sentence as a guide, based on which the artificial intelligence starts building the image. In order to really understand the power of these programs, let's look at a few examples. Here, DALL-E had created a picture using text input. The teddy bears were working on a new artificial intelligence study in the 1980s. Here again, a Polaroid picture of a bird was requested, which looks directly into the camera lens. There aren't really any of these hairy friends, but artificial intelligence created them out of nothing with the help of a given text feed and by learning the infinite number of pet pictures on the internet, which show what a cat and a dog look like. This is an Egyptian work of art, in which the characters compete for whose turn the trash comes in. And here, in a medieval painting, they struggle when the Wi-Fi doesn't seem to work. Artificial intelligence may not always succeed in its mission the first time, but you can ask for as many versions and variations as you want. And you don't have to worry about artificial intelligence. You can ask for images in ordinary sentences, which are easy to understand. But you can also add weight values to the text, which allow you to determine which things should be focused on the most and in what relationship. Number 1 means 100%. As an example, you could direct an artificial intelligence by writing bird 0, 5, and banana chocolate ice cream 0, 5. This way the program gives both subjects the same weight in the work. But in addition to positive numbers, you can also give a negative weight. For example, circus tent -1. In this case, the program tries to get as far out of the circus tent as possible and create something that is 100% something other than circus telta. But what is circus telta's perfect counterpart? Can there even be such a thing? And how does artificial intelligence handle this? AI's neural network basically tries to track human brains. But because it's artificial intelligence, not pre-coded logic, we can never be sure what kind of conclusions it will come to. This is the area where we really jump into the unknown. And there, the aforementioned Twitter user found a terrible surprise. Supercomposite had decided to start investigating. Where would these negative influences really lead? He had sat at the edge of the machine, opened the AI program, and gave it a name, Brando -1. With Brando, he apparently meant Marlon Brando, a former actor. But that doesn't matter, because AI interprets what it sees best. Brando's subsequent -1 value. It sends AI to its neural network, looking for something that is as far away from the brain as possible. Artificial intelligence uses a map, where it has organized similar topics and concepts close to each other, like a neighbor island on a large ocean. How it actually works is beyond the capacity of my brain. But what artificial intelligence has placed on the edge of this map is beyond the capacity of my brain. As far back as I can remember, there was also a complete mystery to those who originally built that artificial intelligence. Supercomposites pressed enter, and the artificial intelligence processed the command given to it in its time, Brando -1. And then created a picture that processed as far away as possible from Brando. The end result was strange. The image looked like a hand-drawn logo, with a black silhouette of the city in the background, and on top of it was printed in green text and a slightly messy exterior, digital PNTICS. The roads of artificial intelligence are unknown, probably Twomey's supercomposite. And then he got an interesting idea. What if he gave artificial intelligence a new order and now wrote those words on the text field digital P and TICS, digita B and X. And in addition to the image, the logo is on the horizon of a black city and would also give this a value of -1. In other words, he wanted to know if the process could be reversed. If he imagines that image in a text feed, which artificial intelligence interpreted as Brandon's counterpart, and again gives it a negative value, could artificial intelligence return to where it came from? Let's go back to Brandon's concept and create a picture of that legendary actor. He would not have been able to prepare for what happened next. The picture showed a creepy-looking face. It was a woman's face with dark, long hair, strange, bloody, triangle-shaped cheeks, and a scary look that seemed to be drawn somewhere deep into the fears of the subconscious. He clicked to create a new version of the animation. The background and lighting changed, but the face remained. Again and again, he told the animation to create something else from that text feed. And again, the woman appeared. It may have been shot in a different position or from a slightly different angle, but the same intriguing drawings were always there. With these animation programs, it is usually difficult to get the same type of results. Yeah, when you ask for multiple versions of the same text input, even with simple inputs, but for some reason, these faces just don't want to leave. Supercomposite gave the woman the name Loeb, a strange word that had appeared in one of the image versions. One Reddit user noticed that Loeb's transverse version, ball, in Irish, it is described as Vara, which again derives from the older word, bogul, I don't know how to pronounce it, which describes a threat of vulnerability. Why did the same faces always appear on the screen? For some reason, artificial intelligence had on the surface thought that they were the opposite to the previous logo of the city silhouette and a few crazy words. According to the TechCrunch website, this supercomposite person, who for one reason or another wants to appear in their own name, can be filed. I had thought about it like this, using the concept map created by artificial intelligence as an example, which we talked about earlier. Artificial intelligence runs as far away from logos as possible. It may disappear to an area where realistic faces are located. It continues its journey because the faces are not interested in it at the moment. It just wants to create logos. In any case, it travels towards the outer edge of the map, and Loeb's faces are the last thing it sees before it falls off the edge of the map. It sounds like some kind of urban legend, but with a modern twist. There really is something disturbing about those faces that I can't really put into words. And what makes this particular AI program so attached to it? Each identical AI has its own map, whether it's DALE2, Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, or something else. Can you find anything comparable on the outer edge of all these AIs? A local LOB, which has been placed as far away as possible from other, more normal concepts. As stated, these programs work in such a way that if you write a sentence, for example, a red-haired seahorse on a summer beach, you may have to click on new versions several times before you're satisfied with the end result, because the AI likes to support quite different works from the same concept. And it's likely that you can't even separate a seahorse from all the variations. But the exception reinforces the rule in Loeb's case. The AI wants to bring it up from one variation to another. Macabre mystery always gets darker shades. Oh yeah, when LOEB is crossed with other images, it takes over their power like a virus spreading infection. When Supercomposite had been surprised by the encounter with LOB, it raised a question mark. What happens when Loeb's images are crossed with other images? In addition to the text feed, it is possible to give images to the AI program, based on which it designs a new work. In the case of LOB, the behavior led to some disturbing results. Loxon. First, he had taken a picture of his friend, so-called created by artificial intelligence, which captured a beautiful glass tunnel and individual characters, and then crossed it with the original Loeb picture. He didn't give the artificial intelligence text-based instructions, just pictures. The artificial intelligence thought for a moment and then presented its work result. Just as that heavenly glass tunnel would have turned completely opposite, a negative minus world from the original. What is this then? The glass has turned gray and looks like a scar that falls down from a cracked roof, like some kind of heavy snowfall. Almost colorless shapes have stuck to the wall, from which red blood shines from here and there. The characters in the picture are in a state of horror. Children dressed in dirty clothes, ugly and disfigured faces. And in the middle of it all stands a dark-haired woman in a red gown and a disturbing presence, staring at the viewer. Next, she crossed Loeb's and a simple picture of Malainen, and the subtextual misunderstanding. The bees have melted into Loeb's face. And in the foreground of the picture is an already indescribable, stunningly yellow and black-colored pile, which may have once been a bee. Once again, the imagination had prioritized Loeb and made it the clearest part of the work. And once again, Loeb had done something normal, something horrible and disgusting. I read some quotes from the Supercomposites quotes, in which he tells about his research to a deeper level of artificial intelligence. I was almost going crazy at this point. I had hundreds of Loeb images, and I started to cross them with 3, even 4 different images at the same time. On the other hand, the end results took abstract shapes. He crossed, and then he crossed crossings, and mutating the faces into more and more strange shapes, he soon lost his understanding of the original LOAB. He wrote about it like this: "The concept of LOAB-ness became more and more abstract to me. I gave him text feedings. I knew the broken Loeb unrecognizable. When it had finally disappeared from the latest generations of images, it may have suddenly reappeared in later versions as empty." Supercomposites told their story to the Loeb and put it together again as a horrible appearance. According to him, Loeb could be described as an island on the map of artificial intelligence, where we can't navigate with normal text inputs. Milenkientoistakilla. The supercomposite-used artificial intelligence program is not the only one from which LOAB has been found. The same terrifying faces have appeared, for example, in a picture created by another Twitter user, in which stable diffusion was used. Why is this substance lurking in artificial intelligence, hiding on the edges of the conceptual world? And when it is found in the last complete accident, it sucks out of the shadows, gets stuck in the picture, and your psyche goes crazy, and you can't get out of it until it has touched everything around you. Isn't that enough for this time? Now the video is over, and Loeb can be slid back to where it came from. You've seen it now, so it may remain a guest in your imagination, at least for a while, but everything will probably go just fine. Well, don't let it spread too deep into your subconscious, and open the door to the dream world for it. Thanks to our members. We'll wonder again in the next video.